Welcome to Claria Yoga, I'm Claire. This short video is going to help to ease tension that sits through the upper back. Now I'll talk about a few muscles without going into too much anatomical detail, but it does help to just know what you're working with. So we're going to talk a little about the rhomboids. So the rhomboids help to pull the shoulders that way, and so the shoulder blades are sliding together. They do also help to lift the shoulders and also to rotate the shoulders. If you think about those are actions that we may be doing a lot of during the day. They also get quite tired because we tend to also sit forwards. So that action of drawing the shoulders forwards, which is through poor posture, the rhomboids are basically fighting constantly to bring the shoulder blades back together because that's their job. And because of sitting in that position so long, it's preventing the rhomboids from doing what they need to do. So they get tired and it can come through as feeling quite painful and tender. And the other muscle that sits on your back in a great big diamond shape from the head going down across the shoulders and then down towards the mid-back is the trapezius muscle. And it's a huge muscle, so there are 3 different areas on either side of your spine is responsible for, well, let's start with the head, so all sorts of actions in the head. Coming down again into shoulder movements. So that muscle as well gets very tired when we're constantly sitting like this. Or if you're particularly active in this area, think of people who are doing horseback riding, for example, then that will activate and create a nice strong muscle, but that can also become quite tight if not stretched out or gently compressed. So lots going on in the upper back. So what can we do for the pain that tends to come into those areas? I tend to get a lot of pain in my right side in that particular shoulder blade where that sits. So I'm going to show you some exercises that you can do, even just a couple of minutes of these every day, especially if you're a desk worker or you recognize that that shape is what you adopt, or you're doing a lot of this type of exercise, drawing the shoulder blades back, but not doing enough of your stretches. This is going to help you to balance that tension. So let's start with one that you need to come down onto the floor. So you lie down flat on the floor, and I'm just going to remove my microphone so I'm not squashing it. And I'll show you the back view first. Now you are also going to be targeting your pectoral muscles that sit on the front, which also get very, very tired. So sticking your left arm out straight from the shoulder, you see I've got that 90-degree angle in the shoulder, and then you turn your left cheek to the floor. And the right hand is going to come right in close to your rib cage. I'll show you this view first as you roll onto your left side, so towards that left hip, and that right leg may just be hanging in space, or you may be able to bend the knee and place the foot closer to the floor, or bring the leg down to the floor entirely, which I can't in this position. So ease your way in, and I will show you again from the front side. So still working with that left arm, if you're already in there, just ease your way in bit by bit. And so here we are from the front view. You can see that my right hand is placed in front of my chest now as I've rolled towards the left side. And what I feel in my body is I feel compression through the back of the shoulder blade, and also I feel a stretch on the front. Now everybody's different, and I invite you just to tune in for now to how it presents in your own body and where you're feeling it. So our primary target is the shoulder, but secondary sensations may present in the back as well, in the hip, maybe even in the abdomen if you've got tightness there. So once you've found your pose, take a deep breath as you inhale here and you sigh it out and just sink into it a little for a few moments, noticing how the compression presents in the back, if that's where you're feeling it, or the stretch on the front of the shoulder. Taking another couple of breaths there. And then as you exhale next time,
you can slowly begin to roll onto your front again. So use that right hand for support as you gently guide your body back down onto the floor. And so from here we switch over. Bring that left arm in and then stretch your right arm out. So again, that 90-degree angle in the shoulder. Make sure that you're not coming down here. Just trying to get as close to that 90 degrees as you can. And you can begin to roll onto your right hip with the right cheek to the floor. And I will turn around so that you can see my front view. So make sure you're still working into that right arm, right shoulder. And once again, using that left hand there for support as your little platform, guiding yourselves in as far as you can comfortably go and holding it there. Remembering those secondary sensations that may come down into the spine, maybe the lower back, maybe the abdomen, maybe your hip. And just working out with that left leg whether it is more comfortable hanging in space here or maybe bringing it down to the floor. And then slowly sinking in with a nice deep breath and letting it go. Just allowing gravity to move into the body for a few moments. And again, just maintaining that connection with your body's experience as you begin to notice where the stretch goes, if that's what you're feeling, maybe on the front of the shoulder, or maybe the compression is beginning to get a little deeper into all those knots that tend to sit around the scapula, so that's the shoulder blade. And take another couple of breaths there. And finishing there with your next exhalation, you guide your body onto your front again, very slowly, using that left hand for support. And then bring both hands under the shoulders and take your time to come back up into a seat. So that's the first set of stretches. They're very, very good for getting into that tension that can sit around the shoulder blades, helping to compress all that area. It floods the blood back in when you release it, and so it gets all the nutrients moving in and it flushes out any toxins. It also stretches the front, so remember you're dealing with the front of the shoulder here, and you might be getting into the pectoral muscles as well that get very, very tight from that rounded position that we tend to be in, or if you're doing a lot of work, then it's stretching the pectoral muscles. If you spend most of your time in this position, then these muscles would also be getting quite tired. So let's move into our next one. So we're going to sit. Now you can make yourself nice and comfortable, either sitting up on a blanket if that's comfortable for you, or coming into a kneeling position, maybe sitting on a bolster. So I have a bolster there if you wanted to place that between your legs. That might be a better position for you. Just want to make sure that your back is feeling nice and long. Just relax the jaw there for a moment, and with a nice long sigh, just feel the shoulders slowly releasing. You don't have to force them down. It's just naturally allowing them to find their place. Tuning in at the moment as you close your eyes to how the shoulders are feeling, how the upper back is feeling. And then slowly blink the eyes open. Okay, let's begin to lift the arms into a T. Breathe in then. As you exhale, move into a hug. So the right arm is on top, and you place your hands around the shoulders, and maybe you can wiggle the fingers back a little, almost as if you could get your fingers to touch the edges of your shoulder blades. Now pausing there for a moment, exhaling into that. Now this may be where you stay, or taking it into another variation. You can move into eagle arms with me by folding the arms around one another, either placing the palms towards each other or the backs of the hands. So choosing whichever variation you're working with. And from this position, you're now going to bring your elbows over your left leg. So whether you're hugging yourselves or whether you're into eagle arms with me, just maintaining this position. Take a nice deep inhalation, and as you exhale, just round forwards, coming as far as your body will allow. You might feel that stretch moving into the shoulder blade. Some of you might feel this in the back if you've got tightness there, down towards the lower back. Take one more breath there, and then come up. Move it back to center, and we're going to do that one more time. So take that slow journey over your left leg, maybe going a little further if you feel you have the space. And then slowly, with your next exhalation, rounding over. Let go of the head. Take another deep breath. And then slowly come up again. And bring your hands to center. Release and open up again into your T, and we go straight into the other side. So now your left arm is on top. Move into your hug first. So wrapping those hands towards the shoulders or around the shoulders, creeping the fingertips as far as they will go. Breathing into that, and either staying here, or you can wrap your forearms around each other again for eagle arms, either palms together or backs of the hands together. So remember that this side may be completely different. It may need a different variation. So welcome the experience of this side of your body. So holding it there for a breath, and then beginning to take it over the right leg now, just starting there. And once you've found your position, and begin to round over. Just allowing those arms to take you, whether you're hugging yourself or in eagle arms. Letting go of your head as much as you can and just tuning into where the sensations sit. Maybe you can feel those secondary sensations somewhere in the spine or down towards your left hip. And take one more breath. And then slowly ease yourselves back up. Take your time to come to center. And then we go again. So inhale here. As you exhale, moving your elbows over your right knee. Take a breath in. And then exhale and round over. All the way over. Just noticing if you're able to go even a fraction further over to the right. Letting go now as you let gravity into your body. One last breath there. And then slowly, slowly come back up. And then bring yourselves back to center and release your arms nice and gently. And just allow the shoulders to flop for a bit. Let the arms flop. Close your eyes and tune back into your body. Into that area that we're working with today, that we're nurturing. For which we're creating a little bit more space. And you can blink your eyes open. And we'll finish with another compression for the back, so the upper back, and stretch for the front. Now this one takes a little bit of effort and it can feel uncomfortable, but that's okay as long as it's not feeling sharp, nothing fiery, pinchy, then you're okay to work with that dull, nagging, uncomfortable sensation. So this is a really good one to do. So it's getting the shoulder blades to move that way. So you get the shoulders to move back. You feel your chest is popping forwards, and then you bring your hands behind you. So maybe you can hold on to just the ends of the fingers. Maybe you can interlace your fingers and rest your fists on your sacrum. And this may be where you stay. Or you can extend your arms behind you. Now, this isn't always workable for everybody, and it depends on your elbows, it depends on your tightness. So wherever you're working, just getting those shoulder blades together and holding that there. So you're activating those muscles, getting them to work for you to help bring the shoulder blades back. And let's hold it again. 3, 2, 1, and release. Just let that go. Take a breath. Let's do that one more time. So step by step, get those shoulder blades moving towards each other before you even touch your hands, and then Slowly drawing those fingers towards each other, maybe holding on, fingers, palms, maybe stretching through the elbows, getting those muscles to work, holding that position. You'll feel that squeezing through any tension, any knots that you've got there. Let's hold it again. 3, 2, 1, and release. Let that go. Okay, counter pose to finish with. Just bring the hands in front of you, interlace your fingers and move the palms away. As you press, round through the spine. Taking one breath there, and then exhale, and then let that go. Okay, so that was a mini practice for the shoulders, but that is sometimes enough. So I invite you to look up those muscles, look up the rhomboids, the trapezius, just notice how they look on anatomical pictures. You can just Google it, maybe find out how they move specifically. I talked about all those different movements, all those different areas of the body that you're working with, just so that you know what may be happening in your own body. It always helps to hone that awareness, that body connection, so that you understand where your pain might be coming from, where that tension might be coming from. Now, I have had a very good question about why would we focus on coming into forward folds, for example, positions where we're releasing the head, where we're spreading the shoulder blades, if that tends to be the positions that we are adopting too much of during the day. Now, the reason you want to come into forward folds, but releasing forward folds, is that in those positions, you're encouraged to come into them and release your muscles. That's where you're actually getting a stretch. So your muscles aren't activated. They're not fighting you to bring your body back up again. They are being allowed space and time to let go. That is very, very beneficial for any muscle that is tight, weak, tired. Stretching is wonderful. So as an example, in that position that we adopted, when you come forwards and you really let go, so you're not holding on, you're allowing everything to hang so that your muscles can gently stretch out, so the rhomboids can move in that direction and let go. They're not working, they're just being allowed to have a rest, so that your trapezius muscle can stretch out that way and that way as well, so that it can let go. That is why it's always important to find balance. So even if you spend a lot of time in a forward fold during your day because you're rounding over, remember that your muscles aren't relaxed. Your muscles are fighting you all the time because they're trying to get you to stretch up again, to sit up again. So the balance is to work into your practice stretches that open and stretches that go into that direction, but that are releasing. Okay, so I'll let you sit with that. I'm always open to questions, so do pop a comment below, or you can write to me on my website, clariayoga.com. That's where I am. Thank you very much for joining me. If you liked this video, please pop a like below and subscribe to my channel. I will have more talks, tutorials, and other practices coming your way very soon. Take care. Namaste.